To be honest, you'll probably grow out all of the needs that you wanted. But before I tell you anything else, let me tell you my story. So my story is that I'm back in fifth grade. I wanted a bunch of women. Basically, no, well, I didn't at that time. I didn't want a bunch of women, but I wanted one particular girl. I wanted that girl. I wanted her so badly that I would stalk her every day. I would look in like in the window at the school window, see if she's like there or not. Pretty needy, to be honest. I was pretty needy online, but eventually I found out that she didn't like someone else. Well, no, well she liked someone else basically, and what was like I didn't know what to do at that point. So I started going to Roblox. This game on it's a game. It's a video game, and I started playing more of that game. I started playing more Roblox, and out of nowhere, a girl when I'm just playing a game, a girl asks me out, and then like we start dating and stuff. Like it's like finally the first relationship I've actually been able to be into. I mean, actually, no. The first time that I actually had any type of like intimacy was that when I was seven. No, when I was seven, I made out with a girl, but that's a different thing, honestly. No, it was a weird thing back then, but so I started dating that girl, and and eventually we broke up because well, my brother sent her a photo of myself. And I started becoming more needy of getting more girls, and I was still thinking about the girl that I liked back in fifth grade. I kept thinking about her, while also thinking about a bunch of women. Now that I started watching more anime and stuff like that, and I started watching on those like stuff that had a bunch of like well basically the guys who gets a bunch of women. I started watching a bunch of more love stories because I just wanted more intimacy. I was more clingy, needy. I was in that back then in that relationship. I was more actually more feminine than her, to be honest. And this really kind of no, this did really just leave a like a downhill of my life. I kept doing bad habits. I kept watching anime, playing video games, looking for love. Sometimes also playing some other games. And I was eating a bunch of junk food. My posture was super bad. I was like super bad. Like I don't know. It doesn't look like that, but my posture was pretty bad and didn't really seem that much. Until seventh grade, I started improving more of my life. I watched the Hamza video and then I started watching more and more and then I started watching more. And then it changed my life right there. I kept doing these good habits and they changed my life. And then eighth grade, this is where I found out, like, yeah, this is where I'll talk about how you will grow out of the things that you want. Because in eighth grade, I was a lot less needy. I mean, of course, I still had some needy, and I might even still have some needy right now. But that back then in eighth grade, I still had the neediness of back then, and I'd cling on to a girl basically, just thinking about her, kind of dreaming about her, doing weird stuff. And also, there was a teacher that I liked. I know it was the teacher that looked attractive that I was thinking about, I was dreaming about. And at the end of the year, at that period, I was trying to act like a Sigma male so I can attract her, but it didn't work. It doesn't. I mean, you can act like that, but unless you want to be avoidant, yeah, just don't be a Sigma male. I have a video about that, but I'm being I'm being a Sigma male, and it's about to be the end of the year. This is when I was watching Hamza Ahmed. Hamza Ahmed is this guy that he's self improvement YouTuber that changed my life. Really, he's not actually a bad guy, and he changed me to do these good habits. And he was during this period of time he was uploading like clickbaity videos at like how to get girls and stuff, and I was as I appreciated Hamza so much that I wanted to watch all of his videos, and I did. But then there was this one day where Hamza said where he like I achieved my purpose, and it made me. He talked about some things, and then he uploaded more videos about like reject. It's like a video called "Reject Degeneracy, Embrace God," and then that made me realize where I didn't want sex anymore with women, and well, I didn't want. Okay, of course, I still it's still like a normal thing for like your attraction towards women, but I well basically I didn't feel like being a degenerate anymore. I felt back then I had dreams about being a degenerate, like sleeping around with a bunch of women, and I've grown beyond the need for that. I mean, to be honest, I still sometimes get that thought, but really, I've gotten beyond the need for that. I've gotten the need beyond for that. It's just you don't really you just grow things out. Like imagine you were a kid and the things that you liked as a kid, now you're not so interested in them anymore. And that's normal. It's a normal thing. You know, I read a chapter in The Way of the Superior Man. Chapter what was it? Somewhere around, it's the chapter is called Use Attraction as a Slingshot through Experience, and as you're feeling through well as you're getting attraction from women, don't well basically well as you're feeling your attraction towards women, never forget that they do pass away, they do die, and your feelings are fleeting every moment. We- we grow beyond the need for all this stuff, like for wealth or for a woman or for fame. We grow beyond the need for that. It For me, it probably happened to me through experience, just through the things that happened to me in my life. That when of course Hamza is a great guy, honestly, and it made me realize that yeah, I didn't want that anymore. That video just it made more sense to me. I didn't want to be more like a Sigma male anymore. I didn't want to act more of what it just because I wanted more women. I wasn't even really happy anyways. We go beyond the need for this. So if there's any women that, if you're being needy to a woman, of course if you shouldn't be needy, but if you are, you can I'd say how so if you are needy for women, I'd say go about it like this. So there's a bunch of other things that you know there's a bunch of other things that are more like your purpose is more fulfilling to you. And maybe you don't know that yet, but it is. I mean, I still want to discover my purpose and live true to it, but for you, you might not know also. We gotta take the time to just think about what we actually want. And you have to understand, well, that if the girl doesn't like you, then she doesn't want you. If it's not 100% sure that she doesn't want you, then well, it's not like 95% that she doesn't like you. And stop talking with her. It might seem painful at first, but really, it's more painful if you just keep doing this and you act like more of a simp. We go beyond the need for this, and there might be a bunch of other things you might like, wealth or fame. There might be a bunch of other things, and women too. I mean, you can still experience your attraction towards women. I'm not saying that, but We go beyond the need for all this stuff. I want you to know that. I wanted more attraction from women, but then as I realized, I don't want attraction from degenerate women. I don't want that. I just want a woman who's compatible with me and who's also feminine and who I think is super beautiful. That's it, really. I mean, there's not really much. We go beyond the need for these, for this. Maybe keep that in mind throughout the day as your desires. You know, we're supposed to feel through them, feel through women and the world. That's something I learned throughout the day. Oh, 11 minutes. Bingo. Alright, so do the right thing and don't give up. Alright, take care.